It's 1969, February 1st, 1969, as a matter of fact. Around a little before 8 in the morning, I'm actually still sleeping. It's Saturday. Either sleeping or lying in bed or something, but I ain't up yet. Bzz, bzz, bzz goes the buzzer of my New York tenement. And I buzz in Eddie and Irwin Luck. Their name was Luck. They were certainly lucky for me anyway. So, you know, Irwin strides in first, and the first thing out of his mouth, he says, Meher Baba dropped his body yesterday. And they got the cable last night, I guess. And to understand what I'm talking about here, maybe I should give you a little background. I was signed up for a June darshan, and so were they. Now, these two guys had their visas, they had everything ready, and they were ready to go. Me, on the other hand, the odd thing about this was that the day before was the last day of my job. Everything had fallen into place for me. You know, if you get to know me, you find out I'm a manifester. Everything always falls into place for me. And I had all the money I needed to go to India and more besides. You know, I was, you know, well fixed, except I had invested it in the stock market. Which was doing well, and my stocks were up. And my one stock was up. I put everything in one stock. And I was planning to spend a few months, you know, spending some of that extra money and enjoying myself around New York before the darshan. So in they walk and they say, we're on a plane tomorrow. We are out of here. Are you coming? Or whatever it was. I mean, they were going because they said Meher Baba's body is not covered yet. They're going to leave it uncovered as long as they can. And we're going to try to get there and see him, you know, before he is interred. And I wanted to go. And I said, I'm going to do what I can, but my money is in stocks, so I'm going to have to sell the stocks on Monday. So I know I can't go before then. So they said, well, okay, just, you know, do what you can. We're out of here. You know, we'll see you. See you there, you know. Okay. And I was the only one left now in the apartment. They had been sharing it with me, as had some other people, and this was a tiny apartment. You know, it was just basically one long room with a kitchen and tub in the middle. You know, it was a New York tenement apartment. And these apartments, that one and the one across the hall from it, had been, from the time I came to New York, rented by people who were Meher Baba lovers. And gradually, all of them moved out but me. And in the apartment was, or the two apartments actually, lived a cat named Minerva. It was a cute tabby putty who had been, you know, adopted and taken care of by these successive generations of Baba lovers who came and went and passed the apartment from one to another, or the two apartments. And Minerva was now my charge. I was in sole responsibility for Minerva at that point, which I didn't mind, you know. And so here I was, you know, bustling about now, making preparations to go to India. Monday I called my broker, and, you know, I'll shorten the story. Getting payment for the stock was going to take a week. I didn't end up going to India until February 22nd. So I was there for weeks, you know, getting myself together. You don't want to know, but part of this you do want to know about. because part of this is the story. See, now I'm going to tell you what this guidance thing was all, what happened. As I say, so far it's all believable, but from here, now we push out into the deep waters. I started to get the idea that I was supposed to take this cat with me to India. Where did this come from? How did this pop into my mind? I have no idea, but there it was. You know, I kept thinking, you know, that Minerva was supposed to go, and you know, at that point, it was just going to be like maybe to go into be in Baba's tomb or something. But see, the idea here was that in the presence of the master, there is all this spiritual power. You know? I mean, it was like, oh, whoa, I know what you're thinking, okay? I can read your mind. It's not my purpose to try to draw you into the inner sanctum of how people who were involved with Meher Baba in 1969 saw things, and probably still do anyway. But what I am trying to say here is that I believed that Minerva was going to get a push in consciousness, and she was going to be human in her next life. Okay. Don't say, good thing I'm a movie, right? So you can't say what you're thinking. But anyway, now we come to the, you know, the guidance part of this story, see. I, of course, you know, at the same time I was having all these thoughts, was thinking rubbish and poppycock. This is ridiculous, you know. If Minerva's going to be human in her next life, she probably already got a push in consciousness. She does not need to go to India, you know. God is everywhere. Why take the cat, you know? God is right here with her and can give her a push if, you know, he or she wants to. So I was, you know, dickering back and forth, you know, up and down, and what am I doing here with this kitty, you know, what am I going to... And there were plenty of people who would have taken Minerva. It was not like there was a shortage of people to adopt Minerva. But I kept feeling this responsibility, you know, that was really what it came down to. And so one night, I was walking along the street in the East Village, where the apartments are now $2,000 a month, and back then they were $35 a month. And, you know, there were a lot of drug addicts and muggers and potential muggers and all kinds of people around there. And walking down the street, and I'm thinking about this, and I said, if I am supposed to take this cat to India, I said this to God, okay? I was talking to God. And if I am supposed to take this cat to India, give me a signal, a sign. You know, tell me, show me something that, you know, says to me, you know, without any doubt that you are supposed to do this. Within 90 seconds of my saying this, this guy comes out of a doorway. And of course my first thought was, okay, this guy is going to whap me over the head with something, you know. I'm getting a sign here, all right? Don't go, don't take the cat, don't go yourself. You're going to be in the hospital, you know, for the duration or whatever. Anyway.